Welcome, Mac and Cheese Week, day 3. Still got the mustache, kind of look like I'm straight out of the freaking 60s today, but we're gonna be making steaky mac. So I went and I picked up a nice, beautiful ribeye from our butcher today. Little unevenly cut. That's okay, we'll work with it. For our cheeses, I'm using more of our never-ending 5-pound block of mozzarella and a Gruyere. It's steaky mac. Really any cheese will go well with steak. Doesn't really matter what you use here. We're also going to be adding all of these beautiful things to our mac and cheese base today. Some Worcestershire sauce, some mustard, garlic, and shallot. These are all just things that usually go with steak, so I'm going to be using them. And instead of milk, we're going to be using beef stock. I guess beef broth, but same difference. Generously salting the steak, and then I'm going to rest it for around an hour. The longer you rest your steak, the better, because it needs time to reabsorb any moisture pulled out by the salt. I'm also adding some black pepper at the same time. Then I'm chopping up some shallot and garlic. Don't spend too much time on this, because it's all going to get blended anyway. I'm grating 100 grams of cheese, 50% mozzarella, 50% Gruyere. This is for a single portion, but I'll have a scaled up version in the recipe below. And I'll also add 100 grams of our beef stock. Our shallots and garlic can get sauteed for a couple of minutes before we add our stock to be brought up to a simmer. And today I'm using 3% of my total cheese and liquid weight in sodium citrate. Once our beef stock reaches a simmer, we can turn off the heat and add Worcestershire sauce and mustard. Then we're ready to add our cheese, beef stock, and sodium citrate to a blender. This can be blended until it's smooth and creamy. I took a taste of the cheese sauce and screw the mac and cheese. This would be perfect on a burger. Added some riboflavin to give it some color, but that was probably a bad idea because it made the end product a little bit bitter. I like to use an air fryer to reverse sear my steaks. I cook them at 260 degrees until they reach an internal temp of 115. I did try to pull the steak a little early because the one end is so thin, but it should take 15 to 20 minutes. And as I cook my steak, I cook my noodles in boiling salted water till they're on the more al dente side of al dente. Those noodles get some oil to stop them from sticking as they sit. I'm getting a pan hot to sear my juicy meat. Steak curse continues. I forgot to start the camera for the 3rd time on this channel while searing a steak. We're giving this hunk of cow a minute on each side. Then I remove the oil and heat up my cheese sauce. It's probably a good idea to heat up the cheese sauce more gently than I did. Once the sauce is heated, add the noodles and some more cheese for a better cheese pull. I'll also add some chopped chives for a little bit more color. Then I'll cut my steak. The steak did end up pretty overcooked at the tapered end, which is annoying, but it happens. The steak is getting put onto my mac and cheese and garnished with some chives. I also decided to add just a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. This one had a terrible cheese pull. I think I let it sit for too long. A couple of things. So, I wasn't that happy with my cook on the steak. I think part of it's just that steak was cut unevenly into a taper. It was like cut, so it just, I couldn't sear it right. Also, I had a little bit of bitterness coming from the mac and cheese. I don't know if that's because of the riboflavin. I meant to kind of heat up the cheese sauce more gently. Also, if you cook mustard too hot, it can get a little bit bitter and lose some of its flavor. So before I cooked the sauce, I think it might have been the best sauce I've had so far. After, not so much. I'll probably also just use a cheddar in the future for the sauce. I don't know why I didn't, but I wanted it to be yellow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe. If I get 500 subs by the end of the week, one more week of mac and cheese week next week.